Car Gurus. Shop, buy, sell online.
What your favorite servant class says about you. Saber class. When everyone was partying, you studied the blade. Whenever... When everyone was having premarital nuclear fusion, you mastered the blade. And now that there is an Okita banner, you must throw all your sync quartz on it. Also, you probably love laser beams. Lancer class. You feel you can relate to this class by being among the unluckiest people in this world. You are really salty in the gacha, and it probably has been months since you pull a 5-star servant. Archer class. Inside you there are two wolves. One of them loves bows and the other one thinks that everything can be considered a bow if you try hard enough. Rider class. To ride or to be ridden? That is the question. And your answer? Your answer is probably yes. Caster class. You are a sociopath. A tyrant who overworks their servants till they black out in order to fulfill your void dust addiction. Also, there is a high chance that you are really into the other type moon titles, such as Nico Art Dating Simulator, Melt the Blood, or Mihoyo. Assassin class. You are either the edgy kid of your group or you have a femdom fetish. Maybe both though. Berserker class. Congratulations. You only have type moon titles, such as Nico Art Dating Simulator, Melt the Blood, or Mihoyo. Assassin class. You are either the edgy kid of your group or you have a femdom fetish. Maybe both though. Berserker class. Congratulations. You only have one functional brain cell left, and when you are playing FGO, that brain cell always tells that you need to smash the red card to win. That being said, you rarely lose.
Need to remember that the mic is on. Usually wait till the 5-minute mark on on OBS before I start streaming in earnest. One minute left. And I get Live stream is a go. All right. Welcome everybody to this stream. Thank you all for joining me today. This here is my first ever, well, not my first ever, but my first ever solo RPG playthrough of this particular adventure, Zanzer's Dungeon. Specifically, escape from Zanzer's Dungeon from the easy-to-learn Dungeons & Dragons Black Box set. So, I have had this set for a very long time, and due to a lack of understanding old-school D&D coupled with other things, and not really understanding that this could be played solo, it's just... Excuse me. This has just been on the back burner for a long time. Excuse me. And I've been wanting to do some solo role-playing, but there's a secret project that isn't ready, so I needed to come up with something else, and then I remembered this. And as I looked at it more, and I looked at the few people who actually own/like this box set mentioned, it is made to play solo and to be played in a group. So that's very I was very happy to hear that. So that helped me make up my decision with what to do. So this is Zanzer's Dungeon, as I said. I am finally going to be playing it. I'm going to be using one of these two for myself, these two game pieces here. And for those of you who don't know, what I'm using is called Tabletop Simulator. It's, as you can see, a simulator of tabletop games. And so, how this box set works is that the game is called Easy to Learn Dungeons and Dragons. The new Easy to Master Dungeons and Dragons set. And on the inside, it has some what are called dungeon cards, and each dungeon card runs you solo through it. And at the end of each section, it has the adventure in a typical module fashion, where you can run a group in it with a dungeon master and a player party. I'm just going to be using the parts about solo roleplay. And this will also be a good chance to finally learn old school D&D, because I'm going strictly OSR moving forward. I have only one official D&D game going with 5e, but that game, as soon as that campaign is done, I'm moving on from 5e and just doing OSR. And this is a good way to start. Okay. One of these days, maybe on a community post, I'll take a picture of the dungeon cards and put them on there so you can see what they look like. Yeah, I have them in my hand. Would have liked to have done this with a camera and actually showed real dice rolling, but I feel like this is the best I could do. If you do the solo gameplay route, you actually don't start in the dungeon. You actually do a decision-making exercise that gets you into the dungeon. And of course, there's my character, which we're going to keep mysterious, because the way this game goes, as you learn it solo style, you have no idea what kind of a character you have until you get to the parts about making the character. So, I'm this mysterious person, and this mysterious person is going to be going through this until we get to the part where we actually name the character, pick the class, what have you. Okay, I think that's enough preamble. Let us get started on this. I'll take a sip and then put on my best showman voice for this. Yeah, so good tip if you're gonna roleplay either just for fun or on camera, always keep water on hand. Okay, here we go. ChanceIchio's Gaming Center presents Dungeons and Dragons Black Box from 1991. Escape from Zanzer's Dungeon. Part 1. If we get it all done in Part 1, that's going to be a bona fide miracle. Anyway, let's see here. Okay, I'll read this. If I stumble over my words as I read this, I do apologize in advance. You've come to the town market to meet a merchant who wants you to do an errand for him. When you reach his shop, he smiles. Then he hefts a 4-foot-long lizard onto the counter. Around the beast's neck is a leash, and over its head is a burlap sack. The merchant says, "Deliver this to Zanzer Tem, and he'll pay you a gold piece." Okay, so it's Zanzer Tem, not Tim, like I've been saying. Good thing I didn't have to spell that out. Excuse me, in the description or the top video name. Okay. And he'll pay you a gold piece. Oh, got a message. Okay, so I guess I need to speak a little clearer. Okay, I'll try and be louder and try and speak clearer. He gives the lizard a shove. It flops onto the floor as the merchant turns to other business. He issues a last warning. No matter what, don't take the sack off its head. There are 2 ways to reach Zanzer's tower. If you follow the dark corridors of Thief's Alley, continue with Section 2. If you go through the crowded street of Merchants Parkway, continue with Section 3. I won't try and read all of the extra fluff if I can help it, unless I feel like it's necessary. In this case, I think it is. Okay, so I'm either going to go through Thief's Alley or through the crowded street. No, I'll give you, the viewers, a chance to pick. Should I go through Thief's Alley or Merchants Parkway? Put in the comments for your decision. If I do not see a response in the next 20 seconds, I'll pick myself. Okay, so let me see if there's a stopwatch in this thing. Counter, digital clock. Nope, doesn't look like there's a stopwatch. Oh well, I'll just count. Hmm. 20 seconds. Well, I don't see anything in the chat, so I'll just decide to go through Thief's Alley. So, Section 2. The lizard trots along at your heels, like a well-trained dog, but it stops to poke its burlap-covered snout into every pile of garbage you pass. At one such stop, a group of unwashed children approach. They begin petting the lizard, asking why you have covered its head. If you chase the children off, Continue with section 4. If you explain that you were told to leave it said covered, continue with section 5. I'll explain it, so I'll go to section 5. I don't know why it said that is covered, I answer. But the man who gave it to me warned me not to take the sack off. Must be a basilisk, says one of the children. They'll turn you to stone. The children let you continue on your way. Continue with section 6. You reach Zanzer 10's tower without any more trouble. Before you knock, a black-haired wizard opens the door. At last, he says, eyeing the lizard. Bring it inside. He leads the way into a small alleyway, then fetches a gold piece from his pocket. Here's your payment, he says. A bright, shiny gold piece. Look at how it glitters. Concentrate on the gold piece. You're getting very sleepy. As Zanzer speaks, your eyelids begin to droop. Before you know it, you're asleep. Congratulations! You delivered the lizard, but it appears Zanzer has bigger plans for you. Well, that's the end of the big lizard. The first part in this adventure. I'm guessing that's how I get into Zanzer's dungeon. There's definitely other routes I could have taken that ends with me meeting Zanzer in one way or another. Okay, I'll take a quick sip and then I will continue on. Yeah? Oh, that must be from outside. Okay. What's important? What's a dungeon master? What is the most important thing to remember as a dungeon master? Okay, so the next part is behind here. Alright, next dungeon card. Zanzer's Dungeon. Okay, just gonna skim the opening bit here. Oh, excuse me. Just want to make sure everything is okay and nice and set up. Room 1. Okay, so now I'm going to be placing some stuff here, right? I'll go with the red one. Room 1. Okay. Alright, I'll need 2 more. Thankfully, making new objects is not a problem. I'll choose a yellow one. There. Alright. Wonder if I can name these. Yes, I can. Right. Axel. And then this one I'll call Jerry. There. Jerry, Axel, and we'll get to that one when we get to it. Okay. Now, without further ado, Zanzer's Dungeon. You awake in a musty room. 3 walls are solid stone. but the fourth is made of thick iron bars. You're in a jail! Oh, I'm in a jail, but you get the point. A hairy monster enters the hallway in front of the jail. Following it is a brawny man with bound hands. The monster stops in front of your cell and fishes a key from its pocket, then starts to open the door. Okay. If I try to escape, when the monster opens the door, I go to section 2. If I decide to wait, I go to section 3. Should I try to escape? Yeah, I'm going to give it a try. As the monster turns the key, you move a little bit closer to the door, waiting for just the right moment to leap to freedom. The monster's name is Georgie. He's a hobgoblin Zanzer Tim hired to be a jailer. Georgie has been a jailer long enough to be careful when he opens the jail door. When he sees you moving toward the door, he knows you intend to escape. If you think Georgie would open the door knowing that you'll try to escape, turn to section 4. If you think Georgie would tell you to stand back before opening the jail door, turn to section 5. I'll do section 4. Why not? When Georgie opens the cell door, you rush out of the jail, down the hall, and fall into a trap. You die a few moments later. Go to section 8. This adventure wasn't much fun, was it? I violated the most important rule in the Dungeons & Dragons game. Be fair. It wasn't fair to decide that Georgie would open the door and that Axel would answer your question just because you wanted them to. As the Dungeon Master, you should always make the fair decision. All your games won't be fun. Return to section 2 and try again. Okay. So that was kind of a lesson for if you were the player rather than the dungeon master or game master. It's like when you're a player and it's not a cooperative game, the dungeon master's the only one who decides what the NPCs do. It's not the player only decides what the player does, not what the NPC does. So that was a good little bit of lesson there. Okay. With that in mind, I shall go to the next section. If you think Georgie would tell you to stand back before opening the jail door, turn to section 5. Alright. I'm wise to your tricks, prisoner, Georgie says. Stand back. Before I open this door. Now I go to section 3. You stand back. The monster opens the cell door. He unties the man's hands and pushes him inside. After the monster locks the door and leaves you, you turn to the man and ask, "Where are we?" Place the counter labeled Axel in the cell and remove the one labeled Georgie from the map. Alright. Georgie will go on the side here. Axel is in here with me. The brawny man is Axel. He's a selfish con artist. Axel never does anything for anybody without getting paid. If you think Axel would answer your question for free, turn to section 6. If you think Axel would ask how much you would pay for an answer, return to section 7. Well, I think the earlier lesson taught us which one of these to pick. I'm just going to do section 6 real quick, because I just glanced in. It's pretty funny. We're in Zanzer Tim's dungeon, Axel says. It's located at the edge of, for no reason at all, Axel falls ill and dies. A moment later, so do you. Yeah. And we already read that it wasn't fair to decide that he would just tell me just because I asked. Okay. Now that that bit of levity is out of the way, let's continue. Section 7. How much is it worth to... But, got something there. How much is it worth to you? Axel asks. I don't have any money, you answer, displaying your empty pockets. Axel grins, then fishes a set of funny-shaped dice out of his pocket. Maybe you can win, the answer, he says. This adventure will be continued on the next dungeon card. Perhaps everything hasn't gone the way you would like. But that's the way it is with adventures. They're a lot more fun when there's a little surprise. So, that is Zanzer's dungeon. And on the next dragon card is the next one. Axel's Funny Dice. Okay, then, take another quick swig, then I'll get on it. Oh, and we have Samuel Reyes in the chat, my brother. Greetings, Samuel Reyes, and thank you for your approval of this idea. I am glad to be doing this. All right, now to the next dragon card in this box set. Axel's Funny Dice. I'll just quickly read the blurb here so we can, because it's small and it'll explain a few things. It'll be fun to see you do something like this too. It's easy for me because this box set has an actual solo version of the module it comes with that I can use, as well as one to use with an actual group. So, I'm definitely enjoying how this is turning out so far. Alright, now the next card. Axel's Funny Dice. As DM, you will need to know the many different ways to use dice in the Dungeons & Dragons game. During the read-along adventure below, Axel will help you learn more about using dice. Okay, so Axel is going to act as a dice-using tutorial. So, let's get on with it. We'll play for points, Axel says. If you reach 100 first, I'll answer your question. If I get 100, you'll do my work. Axel hands you a D4, then takes a D6 for himself. You can roll first, he says. Then I roll. If I beat your number, I get 5 points. If I don't, you get 5 points. Nobody gets any points if we tie. If you tell Axel his game is unfair, continue with section 2. Otherwise, roll the D4, then roll the D6 for Axel. Whoever rolls the highest earns 5 points. Keep track of the score on a piece of paper. Keep rolling until either you or Axel gets 25 points. Then continue with section 6. Okay. Yes, I have had this box set for a long time. For decades even, but back then, old school D&D was like, huh? And so, after all these decades, learning both 3.5 as much as I could, and then later 5th edition and Star Wars Saga edition later on after that, and going through my OSR books, such as Osric and Labyrinth Lord, and at the moment Basic Fantasy, old school D&D is definitely making more sense. So, and I think I may have figured out Descending Armor Class. When we get to there, I'll see how well I figured it out. Yes, that is very true. 3.5 was the system at the time, was the newest system at the time, and it was what we were learning with. And this, yeah, it was indeed like learning a foreign language when you opened this up. Okay. Now, to pull out the dice we need for this game. Here's the D6. Now for the D4. Now, I'm going to pull out a colored dice so I can see it on the board easier. I think the blue one will work. I'll just put this one off to the side. Let's see if I can lock this. There. Okay. Oh, that is pretty good. You know, Ironsworn, from what little I've read, is very intriguing. Even the Starforged one, I imagine, is, from what little I've learned, has proven to be just as intriguing. It'll be good to see you roll up a new character for that stream. Okay, now the dice game, me versus Axel. Okay, I'm just gonna play him. I'm not gonna call him out on the fairness of this. Okay. When either me or him gets 25, that will be it. This will be my counter, and I'll pull another one out for him. Keep his on this side. Okay. Did he say who will go first? Oh yeah, I think he said, yeah, I roll first. Okay then. Roll. Yeah, down with Organization 13. This guy predates that Axel by a lot. By about a decade. Just barely a decade, I would imagine. When did Kingdom Hearts 2 come out? Because this game was 91, so... But yeah, down with Organization 13 in this case. We can just... Until I can actually bring up a picture of what Axel looks like later on, we're just going to imagine him looking like that Axel. Even though it describes him as a burly man. And toss. 2. Okay. 2. No, wait a minute. That was hit. I was rolling the wrong dice for myself. So that would have been about 14 years after this came out. Huh. So this Axel predates that Axel by about 14 years. Interesting. Okay, and roll. 4. Nice. Best result. Now, the D6. Axel's turn. I'll try and keep the dice on either side. And toss. 3. So I'm ahead by 1 point. Okay. And toss. Ha! 3. Axel, it's his turn. 1. Okay. And toss. 2. Could have been better, but not bad. Let's see if he can catch up. He definitely has the greater potential to catch up with one rolls using a d6. Ah, 5. Tied. All of it could have been, he could have been 1 point over. And toss. Ha! 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And toss. Oh. Yes, his luck was bound to catch up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, he's in the lead. And toss. 1. Well, I'm behind by 1. Let's hope he rolls low. Aish! He's probably gonna win this. Yeah, he's most likely gonna win. It'll be a bona fide miracle if I win at this point. Just needs 2 more before he wins. Yeah. It's over if he gets anything higher than a 1. And he does. Axel wins. Okay. If either me or Axel gets a 25, a total of points, then I continue to section 25, to section 3. So regardless who won, we still would have gone to the same section. Let's see why. Okay, let's try a different game, Axel says. He puts his d6 away and picks up a d8. Okay then. D8. Can I change the color? Yes, I can. Gonna try and keep his dice a consistent color. Okay, now. Still 5 points a win. Oh, 5 points a win, so he's gonna need a separate counter for that. Okay. Alright, this'll be for the points he earns each victory. Okay. I'll pull mine out when I actually have a victory. Okay. I get to roll 2 d4s and he'll do a d8. Okay then. You know what, I'll change the color of my dice. There. Oh, Hollow You Bell. Welcome, Hollow You Bell. So, a quick recap of what you've missed. I was sent on an errand to deliver what we suspected was a basilisk, which I guess looks like an iguana in this world, because it was a lizard on a leash with a burlap sack over its head. We ran into some kids, and I explained to them, and they said it must be a basilisk. I took it to a wizard's tower, who paid me in a gold coin, but then he started saying stuff like, "Look at the gold coin." And then I fell asleep and I woke up in his dungeon. And now I'm playing dice with a fellow prisoner as a tutorial for how the dice work in Dungeons and Dragons. Right now, he's ahead of me by 5 points. Okay, so we are located in this room here, room 1. If you're wondering why his piece is named and mine is not, that's because we're playing a tutorial module that came in the Black Box, and they'll get you through character creation as you get to that part in the learning module. So, I'm not at the part, yes, a wizard's dungeon. Yeah. So, when I get to that part in this module, I'll name myself, roll my ability scores, all that jazz. But for now, I have to beat Axel, the fellow prisoner Axel, in a dice game. Okay, I'll read this section again. Okay, let's try a different game, Axel says. He puts his d6 away and picks up a d8. Still 5 points a win. You roll 2d4, and I roll 1d8. Whoever rolls lowest wins. If you tell Axel this game is unfair, continue with section 4. Otherwise, roll 2d4. Remember to add the results of the 2 rolls to get your total. Roll the d8 for Axel, add 5 points to the score of whoever rolls lowest. Keep playing until either you or Axel reach a total of 50 points, then continue with section 5. Okay. Let's see what I roll. And toss. 5. Okay, so. Oh, looks like we just need 1 counter. I didn't have to bring out the second one after all. Okay. He rolls his d8 and toss. What'd he get? 7. Aha! That was a win for me. Okay, so now my turn. Oh, nice. I have little experience with... Actually, I have no experience with Smite. Kingdom Hearts is also a good choice. I'll have to look up Smite. And toss. Okay, 7. Let's see what Axel rolls. Toss. Tie. No points there. Let's try again. And toss. 4, and he rolls 2. Haha. Good, good. Ah. Maybe I'll look up some videos on Smite. I don't typically play games like League of Legends, but that doesn't mean the designs of the characters and whatnot don't interest me. So maybe watching some gameplay will give me some inspiration for a future campaign I Dungeon Master. And toss. 8. Two. Oh, he won. Okay, he goes up to 10. So far, we're tied. Two. Oh. Two. Huh. 5 and 4. 4. 4. No, wait. 5. Okay. Okay. Seven for me. 5 for Axel. He goes up another 20. No, he goes up to 20. 4. And Aish. Too many ties. Yeah, collabs can definitely get one into a game that a person would have no-eyes other played before. There's oh, I blended in. Okay, that's 5, and that is also a 5. Jeez. Five again. 8. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna make this other dice a bright red too. It's blending in too much in its current shade. That's better. Toss. 6. 5. Axel goes up another 25. Okay, 6 again. Make sure I roll good. And go. 2. He goes up to 30. He's just 20 points away from winning. Oh, that's pretty nice. It's good that they're able to give that much treatment to a guest character. 5. 3. Goes up to 35. 3. Ha! So many fights tonight. 8. Just watch it be a tie this time. 1. Haha! At this point, I don't care if Axel wins. I just want to get through this dice tutorial. Oh, definitely you have to check out a video. Honestly, I'm sure people are uploading videos of the current event on Smite. 5. So I'll have a chance to see what the collab is. 7. Ooh. 20 points. 6. Okay, still 6. 8. Aha. Feeling like an underdog now. 4. Okay. Ah, so many ties. 3. Okay, hopefully no tie this time. Good, no tie. I'm catching up. Maybe I'll win this after all. 5. 7. This is actually pretty funny. If this were an anime, then I'd imagine just some awesome dice rolling, like it were some awesome game or trading card anime. 5. 1. Axel just needs one more swing and he wins. 3. Okay. 6. Ooh. I don't know what Kekaguri is, but I imagine that it's pretty intense. 6. His odds of rolling lower are great. Will he win? Ah. And he wins. I lose. Gambling anime. Got it. Wait. His dice go here. My dice go there. Okay. Let's see. Now that we've gotten through that long dice tutorial, let's see where I go next on this dragon card. Section 5. Different game, Axel growls. He gives you his d6 and picks up a d12. You roll 2d6. I roll a d12. Whoever rolls 12 first gets 25 points. If I tell Axel the game is unfair, continue to section 6. Otherwise, I roll the 2d6 and add the results. Axel rolls his d12. Add every 25 points to the score of the person who rolls 12 first. If you both roll a 12 in the same round, add 25 to both scores. Continue to section 7. Okay. Okay, I guess it's whoever gets the 25 first. Okay, then. Yeah. There aren't very many instances, role-playing game or otherwise, where I actually get a chance to gamble. So this is a rare opportunity to just gamble without risking anything of real value. The only thing I win, bragging rights over Axel. Now, I take the 2d6s. Axel gets the d12. All right. I'll double check the rules real quick. Okay, one of us has to roll 12. So, whoever rolls 12 first wins 25 gets 25 points. And I guess that's the winner. Okay then, let's see if I can get it. Go, dice roll! Move these two off. Okay. That is not a 12. Two. Okay then. Not a 12. Okay. Nope. 10. 5. 5. 10. First to get a natural 12. Come on. Come on. Give it to me. So close for him. Okay. Oh boy. Oh geez. Whoa. Almost. You guys are just teasing me tonight. Sorry to hear that. I hope it speeds up soon. Two. It's going in the opposite direction. Oh boy. Getting a natural. Yeah. Getting that natural 12. We're rolling all the other numbers out of these dice. Until all that will be left is natural 12s. Guys. Yeah, right. It's just like, you will not get that natural 12. If I have to run and end up one as many... Well, that's not a bad idea. I'll do that after this next set. Okay. Okay. Let's see what you got. That's a good policy to change dice. Yeah. I'm typically not superstitious, but I'm always like, but what if superstition is real? I have to do this. But then I'm like, no, superstition is not real. But what if it is? I can be of two minds about superstition. Nearly. Almost. Finally! 12! Axel wins! So now I go to section 7. Let's try another game, Axel says. Facepalm. Not in the module, that's me. Axel says he takes the D10 for himself, then gives you the D20. So busting out D20s now. Well, a D20. Excuse me. Ah, there it is. Okay. We get 5 points for every 10. If you tell Axel this game is unfair, continue with section 10. Otherwise, roll 1d20 for yourself. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, he has 2d10s. I would pelt him with it if I could, but the way this module works for teaching you the game, it only gives you a limited amount of options. Otherwise, if we were playing the party version, where you play with a game master and a player group, then I definitely would be doing that to Axel. Yeah, I guess I'll take that as tell Axel the game is unfair. So I'll tell him the game is unfair and go to section 8. This game is no fair, I say. None of your dice games are. Continue to section 11. As you've probably guessed, Axel was cheating by taking advantage of the odds. There can be several ways to roll the same number depending on the kind of dice you roll. Each way stands a different chance. For instance, when Axel used a d12 and gave you 2d6, he has 3 times as likely to roll a 12 as you were. This is why you must always follow dice rolling instructions carefully. So yeah, I could have drugged this on longer, but clearly the correct answer was just to call him out from the beginning. Well, I hope that the dice game section of this was entertaining for y'all. Okay. Now, the next dragon card. Looks like we may or may not be getting into, Oh, I know what this is. I remember this from when we first tried to decipher the game. The next section. Dinner! You sit in your cell with nothing to do. Finally, Axel asks, "What's your name? How do you make a living? How old are you?" So we are getting into character creations. Yeah, that was definitely the correct answer, was just to call him out on his BS for rigging the odds. But yeah. But I guess it was fun to turn this into a gambling anime for a bit. I could have done more to make it such, but oh well. But yes, we are now on the part of this where we generate character stuff. So, I have this. Okay. Character name. What should I name myself? I don't want to go with ChanceIchio or ChanceJado for this, since it's just it's for the time being a one-off game, and I don't know how this character will go in the future. So, what to name him? Oh, that's a very interesting thing about basic D&D, which this uses. Basic, because Basic Edition D&D is actually its own edition. Yeah, I'll go with Roxas. Seems appropriate. Roxas. But anyway, I got it. Roxas Dragunov. That is a V, right? Yes, it's a V. But anyway, a quick interesting thing about basic D&D, which the Black Box uses, Basic Edition D&D, in order to make the game easier to learn, actually doesn't have class and race. It has what's considered race as class. So, gonna grab this screen here real quick. So fighter, cleric, thief, and magic user are all humans, and elf, dwarf, and halfling are character classes unto themselves. So, if I choose fighter, cleric, thief, magic user, I'm deciding to be a human. If I choose to be one of the other races, then that race is my class. So that is an interesting thing about this edition of Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, it is confusing. Basic Fantasy, which is a very cheap OSR game, which tries to emulate basic Dungeons and Dragons with some minor quality of life changes from later editions, one of which being separating race and class. So if anyone wants to get a handle on this edition of the game while still being able to choose your race and class separately, then Basic Fantasy is the way to go. Okay, got another drink here, then I'll continue. Yeah, I can understand. I've always wanted to learn the old school rules because this is the first ever D&D product I have ever owned, and I want to be able to play the very first product I've owned. So for years I've been learning OSR just for this moment, actually. This moment I'm sharing with you all on stream. But anyway, that is my race. My name, Roxas Dragunov. Okay, what else do I need to fill in? Okay, decide how I made a living before coming to Zanzer's prisoner. Was I a stable? Okay. I'm just gonna do old occupation. I'll say I was a cobbler. Right. And if I had chosen Tiamat, I probably would have gotten like people's heads would have turned so fast. They're like, your name is what now? It's like, what kind of parents did you have that they named you Tiamat? That would have been interesting. Okay. Pick an age. It suggests ages between 16 and 20s. I'll just do 16. There, my character. Guess we'll roll stats later. Yeah, right. They would have been. Yeah, it just would have been loads of hilarity if I actually went with Tiamat as my name. All right. Okay, after a while, Georgie, the hobgoblin, brings in 2 bowls of gruel. He slips them through a slot in the door. Axel immediately goes over and takes both bowls. Okay. Oh, just had a moment there. Hey, you say, isn't one bowl mine? It is if you can take it away from him, Georgie answers as he is leaving. Go ahead and try, Axel says. Or maybe you'd rather play dice for them. You agree to play dice for your dinner, continue with if you agree to play dice, continue with section 2. If you try to take your bowl away from Axel, continue to section 3. Yeah, I don't think any of us want to go through that dice game nonsense again, so we're going to section 3. You reach for the gruel. Axel cocks a leg as if he were going to kick you. If you try to grab Axel's leg and push him over, continue with section 6. If you step back where Axel can't kick you, continue with section 7. Yeah, so we're trying to fight for our food now. So either we push it, grab his leg and push him over, or step back. So, yeah, we're gonna avoid future dice games. So, I'm gonna try and step back, see what that does. You step back as Axel kicks. He falls and you step forward to grab your bowl of gruel. Axel lands on the floor, spilling his bowl all over himself. You'll regret this, Axel says. Continue with section 8. So, now he has nothing, or he has something, but it's all over him, and I have my food. Nice! Glad your update finished. Okay. The gruel tastes awful. You make a sour face, then look at Axel. I don't know why you tried to take my gruel, you say. Nobody would eat 2 bowls of this stuff. To be continued on the next Dragon Card. Z. I just couldn't resist. So, I think that's a good stopping point. We figured out my name, my age, my old occupation. We still have yet to figure out my class and my ability scores. Right, Dragon Card Z. So, in the next card, for the next game, it'll be breakfast. So I'm guessing we're going to spend the night, but spending the night between now and breakfast makes this the perfect place to stop. I'm just going to take a quick glance at this to see. Oh, looks like next time we're actually going to come up with the ability scores. So, next time we figure out my ability scores and maybe my class. But yeah, I thank you all for watching my stream tonight, my my voice is definitely going hoarse, so it's definitely a good place to stop. I don't know if I'll be doing this nightly or weekly or bi-weekly. Or twice a week. I'll definitely have to figure out the scheduling for this. You're welcome. And yeah, if any of you have suggestions on how often I should do this, you can either tell me in the chat section or comment on my previous community post on our new community post I'll do sometime soon. There are ways to let me know what your opinions, if you have any. So, that is it for tonight. Thank you all for watching. Until next time, and tomorrow I'll definitely be doing some more FGO, and I will see you all next time. Good night, everybody!